Well, hello there, folks. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. This is the Views Expressed right here on the Liberty and Freedom Network, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com. I'm using my headset, so if I sound a little better, that's probably why. So anyway, I'm also using another browser, the Google Chrome, and guess what? My God, nothing works. Okay, just trust me. I don't know. I'm thinking on just going to the Safari browser and just going from there, and just using that from now on. But anyway, go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Check out the articles I'll be talking about. In the meantime, let's see if I can go to this break, okay? I know, I just got on, but I want to go to a break, okay? All right. I know. Hey, I'll be back after this.
Listen to Angel Clark Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Radio Freedom News Network. RadioFreedom.us.
Have you heard about a show called Diane and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri? It's a talk show. Well, it's called Grab Bag Potpourri for a reason. They talk about everything under the sun, from education to politics, from lines at the cashier in the stores to parking lot drivers not paying attention. You want real radio? Well, you don't get any more real than that. That's Diane and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri talk show. Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a whole lot of fun.
We went to the streets to ask people, what do you like about Doc FM?
Oh, well, I think he's sexy. He has a very sexy voice, and he makes my headphones tingle. I think the doctor is very smart. Everything he tells you, you must learn it, because it is smartness to know. Plus, he plays my favorite music. He plays like the 80s and the 70s and the 44s and the 62s.
J'ai pas eu une seule occasion de rester sans rien faire depuis que je suis arrivé à Camelot. Je suis trop occupé à courir derrière Arthur. Fais ci Merlin, fais ça Merlin. Et quand je cours pas derrière Arthur, je fais des corvées pour vous. Et quand je fais pas ça, j'accomplis mon...
Doc FM on Spreaker.com. Well, it's no secret that Doctor won't play none of that countrified music, so I don't really listen to him that much, but when I do, it's a hold down. The first time that I listened to the Doctor, he was making fun of the British. After I got over my attitude, I came back and listened to him. He's wonderful and raucous.
Listen to Doc FM every Saturday evening, 7 p.m. Central, right here on Spreaker.com.
Hey, how you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce for the 2nd of November, 2012. This is the Views Expressed live. Yeah, if you heard me before, yeah, so many problems, so many different glitches, and I mean, the whole thing just fell apart at the beginning. So, hey, we're back, though. Hey, little technical difficulties happen. Stuff like that happens. It's okay. That's all right. Let's get on with the show, shall we? You can email me at libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com, libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com. If you got articles or stories you want me to comment on or talk about or something you think I don't know, send all your email there, libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com, libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com. Go to the website at freeamericaradio.wix, that's wix.com/The Views Expressed, and check that out as well. There's a, over on the right-hand side, there's a book called Many Directions of Man. It's a book that I wrote, just my observations of things going on, and possible solutions. And also on the left-hand side of the page, you'll see a lot of links, a lot of tabs, a lot of things that you might want to check out as well. You got a store there. Go check out the store. You want to promote your patriotism, you can by buying stuff at the store. That would be great. All that does is, also on the left-hand side, before I forget, down at the bottom, there's a donate button. You can donate as much as you like. You can contribute to the show that way if you'd like. All that does is keeps the website up and the show going. That's all it does. Yeah, that's all it does. So check that out, and your support is very much appreciated. So I look forward to hearing from you at Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. A lot of things just seem to be, well, let's just say there's a lot, okay? There is a lot that goes on. Sometimes I wonder, I wonder, this is going to be probably one of my shortest shows ever. I did a podcast earlier, so I said a whole lot there as well, but I said what I had to say on those subjects on that podcast from earlier. But there are certain things that we see in this country that remind us of who we really are. And who we really are is that we, the people, have the power. We are America, as I like to end my show with, and that's who we are. We are America. The people in this country, born and raised many generations in this country, are America, not the people that came over here to try to find, freedom and any of that. Are they just as American as we are? Probably, if not more, because they understand the value of freedom. They understand the capability of people who really understand freedom. Because when you're suppressed, when you're oppressed, when you're from a totalitarian country, any flavor of totalitarianism, you tend to understand freedom a whole lot more. You tend to understand that you, as an individual, have a right to do whatever it is you want to do, and a right to pursue your perspective of what you believe is right for you, your pursuit of happiness and wealth and freedom and liberty and all that. We in America in the past 100 years or more have forgotten that. Either that, or we just take it for granted that everything's going to be fine, and we don't even think about the possibilities of anything, collapsing. Well, guess what? Look around. Look around. You'll see that things are collapsing. You'll see that things are moving in a direction that we're not going to be able to get ourselves out of. You'll see that. Okay? And if you don't see it, you're blind. And if you don't want to see it, well, it's not my responsibility to tell you anything about it. But it's my obligation to at least get you to wake up and to be aware of what's going on. We look back in history, and even today I can look at what's around us in the last 5 or 10 years. We have totally and absolutely taken for granted what we are. We're not the freedom fighters anymore. You know what? Let me specify something for you. We are freedom fighters in the sense that we understand that if somebody comes against us, whether in our neighborhoods or our homes or our counties or cities, we're going to do everything we can to defend ourselves. That is a freedom fighter, or that is a portion of that. But a true freedom fighter says enough of tyranny, enough of the fascism, enough of the communism, the socialism, enough of the socialized medicine, enough of all this corruption in government. A person or a group of people coming together claiming that they are freedom fighters is exactly that. And their purpose is to defend themselves from the tyranny that is currently in their area. And we need to really step up to the plate and ask ourselves who we are. And pardon me while I go silent for a little bit. Somebody sent me a Skype text, so I gotta reply. But again, think about that. We are taking for granted everything around us. And I'm typing, sorry. And we have gotten to the point now where we've become complacent. And this has been going on for quite some time. People have come out in the early 90s, mid-90s, when Bill Clinton was president, and told us everything, revealed information about Mena, Arkansas, how he, when he was governor of Arkansas, allowed the drug cartels to fly their planes into Mena, Arkansas, and distribute drugs out through the whole area. Documents have come out. Former pilots have come out, and people in that area have come out and said this is what was happening. But it was all pushed under the rug, and it was covered up. And people who knew President Clinton said that when he was governor, he took his people, his cronies, really, to Washington, D.C., but then look what happened to them. They found information. In other words, those in the inner circle of the Clinton regime found information to prove the treasonous acts of Bill Clinton, turned around, and guess what happened to them? They either disappeared or were killed. Yes, they were killed. Now, I feel that there is something I need to say here in a positive light, and that is we also understand that we are still, because of the people of the United States of America, because of the citizens, we are still the strongest nation in the world. Financially, we're not. We're going in the hole, and we're not going to be able to repay the $100 trillion or the $600 trillion or the $2.1 quadrillion that we owe in derivatives. We're not going to be able to pay it. So in that, the globalists want to collapse the United States of America, and they will. They're only one step away from it. It's in a few days with the elections. And they're looking at collapsing it because of the fact that they've already got in place not only the infrastructure of the North American Union, but they got every piece of tools that they need to make it happen. And what they do and what they're going to do is they're going, and skeptics have told me, and I've gotten emails from people who disagree with this, and you know what? I say this, do your research. They have foreign military on our soil. They have Iraqi, they have Pakistani, they have Canadian, they have Mexican troops, they have all sorts German troops here on our soil, and they're training, quote unquote, for what? They're training, and some of the people say there's a nefarious act afoot. Some of the debunkers would say that the conspiracy theorists are saying there's some nefarious thing happening, that's why they're here, and all this. Well, the debunkers don't know what they're talking about. They never have, and they never will. Only because of the fact that they don't have the information I have, or many other people have. You know, they can look at that information. Here's a debunker. I can say a Cadillac is white, and they'll look at me and say, no, it's yellow. Okay, that's a debunker. That's a skeptic. That's a hardcore left-leaning skeptic. They don't want to know. They don't care to know. It's pointless for them to even say anything. Okay? It's just pointless, you know. So because they don't know anything, you know. I've sat down and talked with people who were skeptical and people who literally wanted to take the information I have and debunk me with it. Well, guess what? They couldn't, because they couldn't find one flaw in my research. And they knew for a fact that there was no way they can come against me and say anything contradicting anything that I had to say, because I would put the truth and the facts in front of them. They couldn't move. They didn't have a leg to stand on. So their excuse is, well, whatever, I just know. No, you don't. In other words, they don't want to look at it. They don't want to look at it. Okay? And trust me, I know skeptics. Anyway. I'm typing away here. I know for a fact that there are people out there who, I know these people personally, by the way, out of Stockton, California. I know people who literally will look at me and tell me I'm wrong, no matter how much I have in front of me to prove to them that I'm right, or to prove to them that the information that I am talking about is as accurate as my ability to, gather that information is. You know what I mean? I mean, I can gather so much information, I can give it to them, and they'll sit there and tell me that I'm wrong when I know I'm not. And I'm harping on that again, and I usually do, but so I apologize. The point being is this, okay? There are people out there who will tell you that you're wrong. Well, unless they're able to prove themselves right, you're not wrong. And their excuse will be, well, that's your perspective. Well, they're not wrong there. But yet again, they're not seeing what you see because they don't want to. So, just harping on that. Anyway, I'm sorry I just get on those rants. Hey, I want to take you over to, as soon as I get a browser that works here, take you over to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Want to, I put up a couple of things. Military to run elections in New Jersey. That's one of the things. Sound the alarm, Superior Court Judge and VP candidate. We are not America anymore. Gary Johnson and Jim Gray are running for the White House. Okay. And Judge Gray was on the Josh Tolley show. So you might want to look that up as well. There's a link there on Liberty and Freedom Network there on Facebook. You can click on and hear that segment. Couple of things I said in the podcast that I'll repeat here, but let me go on down to Business Insider. Click on the link that says China is building a huge eco-city where no one will need to drive. Now check that one out. There's so many pictures, so many things. From the dailymail.co.uk, do we live in the Matrix? Researchers say they have found a way out. Okay. Generation Nixed, why Canada's youth are losing hope for the future. I think everybody is, not just Canada. Bloomberg diverts food generators from devastating Staten Island to New York City Marathon. By the way, you'll notice right up there, right up front at I don't think I have it there on the Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook, but he has, Mayor Bloomberg and the City Council has canceled the New York City Marathon because of this controversy. Okay, because of this controversy and people coming out saying, what's Mayor Bloomberg doing? What's he doing? What's he doing? See, he's not going to bring the, generators to the food people, to these. His thought, I'm imagining and speculating here, but I think he thought, well, let's just, I don't want to send all my resources over to the homeless and to this devastating, thing over here in Staten Island or whatever. I just want to keep this marathon going because it's tradition. Well, I think he saw the light. People are complaining to him that he's not doing enough. I'm apparently. And so he's actually canceling the New York City Marathon. I'll get into that a little bit later. Also, a occupied Denver, Idaho Springs eviction protest. Yeah, a woman was evicted, and cops showed up, weapons drawn, you name it, it was there. Some non-union Alabama crews turned away from Sandy Recovery. Okay? From Sandy Recovery. These people were turned away. Why? Because they weren't union. See? From the Angel Clark Show over on Capitalism on Facebook. Angel Clark put up, at Chicago Public Schools, Guggenheim Elementary, 85.3% of the third graders failed to meet state reading standards, unquote. Why do we reward incompetence? I have often wondered why more schools don't give incentives to teachers. Okay. Also, alleged Facebook censoring of political posts and comments violates freedom of speech and expression. This is what welfarenewsservice.co.uk has said. Click on that link there on Liberty Freedom Network on Facebook. Also, a couple of pictures up there. One of a big sis, Janet Napolitano. Also, Yemen's people take to the streets protesting drone attacks. Well, we need to get to the streets too, because coming soon to a peaceful protest near you. You've got this picture up there of a Humvee. Pain without injury, active denial systems deter attackers, if I can talk right. Active denial systems deter attackers by sending a non-lethal millimeter wave of electromagnetic energy causing a burning sensation. Okay, so there's a link there. You can just click on the picture, and over on the right-hand side you see a YouTube link for that as well. Also, unrest growing among New Jersey and New York citizens. Dumpster diving for food, fistfights over fuel, and tempers flare in Sandy aftermath. Of course, California, California, I grew up, born and raised in Stockton, California. But there's a picture there of a woman looking back over her shoulder, and it says 10 out of 10 rapists agree with the California legislature that women should not be able to carry a firearm for self-defense. Yeah. California needs to get with the picture and needs to dump their whole legislature. They need to evict their governor, and they need to get people in there that know the Constitution, period, end of sentence. I can say that. I'm a former Californian, so there you go. Okay. Hurricane Sandy manipulated by government weather technology, meteorologists say, so it's not just so-called conspiracy theorists. DHS loaning out military-style drones to Sheriff's Department. Privacy group sues. Also, overpopulation is a eugenics agenda lie. Melissa Melton has that one. So that's coming up after the break as well. And I got a lot of things there from yesterday and a couple of other things I didn't get into yesterday. So after the break, we'll get into those as well. There's just so much. There's just so much going on. Go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Check those things out. Check the articles out. Read them yourself. Like I said, today is probably going to be a short show. There's not much on the page there. If you have any questions, any concerns, anything, actually. If you have articles that you write yourself that you would like to have me talk about, or that you would want to give me permission to put on the website, then you can email those to libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com. libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com. You can also Twitter me. I keep forgetting. You can Twitter me at ULCRev62. That's ULCREV as in Victor 62. Go over to Twitter and follow me over there as well. I believe there's one for Free America Radio. I'm not sure. I got to go over there. I made it a couple of months ago and I totally forgot about it until now. So you want to email me personally here at the show? You can definitely do that. And you can email me personally here at the show at freeamericaradio@usa.com. That's freeamericaradio@usa.com. We're going to go to a break right now. We're going to step off for a moment. We're going to go give you some promos of what's happening and what else is going on in Spreaker world, because that's where I broadcast from. Hey, if you got a radio show or got an idea for a show and you got something to say, go to Spreaker.com, scroll on down to the bottom of the page, look under plans. They got a plan that fits your budget. I'm sure they do. So go there and check that out as well, and check out the other shows on the Spreaker. We shall return right after this. Are you an actor looking for a place to promote your work? Do you do voiceover work and want others to hear what you do? Go to Eastland Entertainment and get your work seen and heard. Eastland Entertainment is your one-stop shop in the Reno, Nevada area for all of your entertainment needs. Eastland Entertainment will promote your work for you. Eastland Entertainment also produces original short films and radio plays through Eastland Radio Films. For more information, contact them at eastlandentertainment@usa.com or go to the Eastland Radio Films website at eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/eastlandfilms. That's eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/eastlandfilms. Are you looking for an alternative to your normal everyday radio? Well, check out KTRNradio.com. Jay Towers and Brian Keller bring you everything that you ever wanted to know, and even if you didn't want to know it. Go check out That Radio Show with your host, Jay Towers, and That BK Show with your host, Brian Keller, on KTRNradio.com.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Do you wear your sunglasses at night? Well, maybe you do some other crazy things too. Why not add The Sandy Fox Show to your list? You can find me on Spreaker.com, Icecast.org, and TuneIn.com. Fox out.
I wear my sunglasses at night so I can watch you weave and breathe your storylines.
Listen to Angel Clark Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Radio Freedom News Network. RadioFreedom.us.
This is the views expressed right here on the Liberty and Freedom Network. Yes, this is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce for the 2nd of November, 2012. How you doing today? How you doing? You doing good? Hope so. Email me, Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Yes, go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Check out the stories. I got pictures there as well if you want to look through the photos. Got a couple of things to say. First of all, Germany wants their gold back. Did you know that? Germans demand bullion back after Federal Reserve refuses to let them view their own gold. A secret report from Germany's Federal Audit Office leaked to the public last week states that the Federal Reserve Bank of New York refuses to allow Bundesbank staff to even view the gold, triggering suspicions that the vaults are empty, as well as calls for the gold to be shipped back to Berlin. According to Der Spiegel, out of Germany's total hoard of 3,600 metric tons of gold, 1,536 tons, more than half of Berlin's reserves are stored with the Federal Reserve Bank of New York at its premises on Liberty Street in a vault 15 meters below sea level, perched upon the bedrock of Manhattan Island. The Fed implements stringent security controls and refuses even Bundesbank staff full access to the German gold hoard. A team of personnel demanding access in 2007 were only allowed to visit the anteroom of the reserves, and when Bundesbank auditors visited in May of 2011, only one of 9 compartments was opened for direct handling. The Federal Reserve's fervent secrecy has engendered suspicions and concern, with some claiming that Germany's gold has long disappeared or been lent out, and that only promissory notes of nominal value are sitting in the vault. A leaked report has now led to calls for some of Germany's leading politicians for the nation's stateside gold hoard to be shipped back to Berlin. Heinz Peter Hosteen of the pro-business Free Democratic Party was quoted by German newspapers as saying that, quote, all the gold has to be shipped back, period, or unquote. Bundesbank board member Karl Ludwig Thiel has urged calm, however, referring to some of the debate surrounding the gold to be rather grotesque, that's in quotes, and stating that the hoard is in the care of, quote, highly respected central bankers, unquote, as opposed to, quote, dubious business partners, unquote. You can go to mining.com. There's a link there on that picture. If you click on the picture and read the article to the right of it, there's a link there for more information. Anyway, people love to Skype me, send me a text. You want to Skype me? Go ahead. You can send me a text there too as well. In the Skype chat, you can go to Skype if you have Skype and go to contacts and put in ULCREV as in Victor 62 ULC Rev 62. Put that into contacts and I'll accept it, and you can text me through my Skype. I wanted to read another one. I read this on the podcast from earlier. If you check that out, this is also up there as well. But for my listeners listening live, I wanted to say this. From knowledgeoftoday.org, they put a quote up there by the late George Carlin. Governments don't want a population capable of critical thinking. They want obedient workers, people just smart enough to run the machines and just dumb enough to passively accept their situation. The picture has writing on it as well and says the government does not want us to expand our consciousness. If we begin to recognize that we are powerful souls that create our reality, it will take away their power to enslave us. This is why there is fluoride in the water, chemtrails in the sky, reflecting HARP energy to affect our minds, aspartame in our food, and GMOs. This is why we are bombarded with distractions to keep our minds occupied with things that don't matter. They don't want us to think at all. And that is from knowledgeoftoday.org or Knowledge of Today on Facebook. I totally and absolutely agree with that. There are too many distractions. As I said in the beginning of the show, we have become complacent. We have gotten to the point where we are taking the United States government and Washington, D.C. for granted. We are. And unfortunately, the thing that, and this, this is from my perspective. Your perspective might be different. But from what I see, nobody cares. Nobody cares that there's fluoride in the water. Oh, that's good for your teeth. No, it ain't. It's a pesticide. Go look it up. It's poison. Okay, if it's good for you, then go look at the box of your toothpaste. Look on the back of the box. If you take too much toothpaste, they give you a number, and that number is for the Center for Disease Control. Hello, it's poison, or the Poison Control Board in your area, whatever. Okay. I don't know how many times I've shown people that, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, you didn't know this? Okay. I know in the last couple of weeks I've had people tell me that they haven't felt good, that they may have the flu, and they've been sick and in bed and all this. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that nobody wants to get their vaccine, their flu vaccine. Well, guess what? Why don't you go to your local CVS or local pharmacy, look at the pharmacist, the head pharmacist, not the person behind the counter. You go talk to the head pharmacist and say, can you bring out the flu vaccine? I want to show you what's in the insert. If he says no, then he knows that it's poison, that there's all sorts of things in there. Okay, like fecal matter and infant embryo and all this. I mean, tissue, and it's all kinds of garbage. It's all kinds of garbage. And not one person has the balls to go and tell these people that they're poisoning us. If you go to your city council meetings, and some of them are open to the public, when they have public, when they usually put it in the paper and say, we have a public meeting at the city council, the public is open to come and say stuff. You go there and you tell them this, and they'll laugh you out of the room. You go there and you tell them, it's not contrails in the air, it's chemtrails. Contrails disappear after anywhere between 15 to 30 seconds. Chemtrails stay there forever, and they widen out, they spread out. So Ed Pierce over at KOLO TV.com put on the Facebook page at KOLO TV on Facebook about, they're contrails. No, they're not. I put 2 links up there to prove that they're not. And the majority of the people that answered him proved to him that the contrails, they're just contrails. No, they're not. They're chemtrails, Mr. Pierce. No relation to me. Last name is spelt differently. Okay? So anybody that tells that says anything that, for instance, I've heard people say, well, we need Obama in office again. No, we don't. No, we don't. Hello, he's a Marxist. Okay, he sat in the church for 20 years under Jeremiah Wright, listening to Marxist philosophy, listening to, what is that? I can't remember, separation theology or something like that. President Obama went to Venezuela and shook hands with Hugo Chavez. Don't give me this crap that we need him for another 4 years. No. Well, no president can get anything done in 4 years. He said he was going to fundamentally transform the United States of America. He did. He gave away most of our construction, or most of our industrial jobs. He gave away the auto companies. He gave away most of the stuff. And look, 4 companies, your tax dollars that he took to invest in those companies went broke and bankrupt. We don't need him. He's a Marxist. He's not even a citizen, folks. And don't give me this crap that he showed the birth certificate. Anybody with half a freaking brain that knows anything could see that piece of garbage trash that they put out on the internet and know for a fact that at just first sight that it was fake. It was as phony as anything. And you're going to sit there and say you need 4 more years of Obama. No, we don't. It's bull crap. Okay? We don't even need Romney. Romney's of the same cloth, folks. Romney wants to take your guns away. Don't give me this crap. I'm sure I am, and I've sat down with Mormons themselves. Matter of fact, I've sat down with elders and I've talked to a bishop. Hello, they're not pastors, they're bishops. Okay, when I was living in Stockton, California, and there are some who say the Constitution is the rule of law, and yes, they support the Second Amendment. They support the whole thing. There are others who don't want that. Okay, because I don't know. I'll just say that. I was going to speculate, but I won't. I'll just say I don't know why there are other Mormons, other people who don't want the Constitution and the Bill of Rights to be the rule of law of this country. And they want to take your guns away, period. Why do you think the far left-leaning liberal loons of the Democratic Party want the borders open? Okay? They want the Mexicans here to take their votes for the far left-leaning loons of the Democratic Party. Folks, Democratic Party doesn't mean anything. It used to, but now it doesn't. All it means is 2 puppets, 1 puppet master. There's this left-right paradigm and this false sense of choice. We don't have a choice. We have an illusion of choice. And you people are going to sit there and say you want 4 more years of Obama. You need your head examined. How's that? You know, I'm talking like this, and I'm sure that Guy Sheo and JD and Sonny and Lester all have something to say about what's going on at MobsterBossRadio.com. Go check them out, MobsterBossRadio.com, Mobster Boss Radio Live, right here on Spreaker.com. They don't talk about this stuff, but I'm sure they have their views and their perspectives, and that's okay, because everybody has their perspectives. You know what mine is? I'll tell you straight up. Flat tax across the board. We don't need a president in there for 4 years. We need him in there for 1 term of 6 years, period, end of sentence. We need all parties, including third parties, to be represented in the debates. We need that all. We need not 535 congressmen and women. We need about 100 to 200, and that's it. You figure you've got two Congress people from each state. There's 50 states. There's 100 right there. Then you have, their assistant. There's another 50, so there's 150 people. We need to get rid of all of Congress and make it smaller. Then the flat tax across the board will force Congress into making a budget that works. Well, how are we going to support our military? That's simple. That's very simple. 3 things. A brand new republic. We need a new republic under a Congress that is only 150 or 200 people. We need a flat tax across the board and make Congress hold their feet to the fire and hold them accountable for every dime that they spend. And nothing is passing Congress until we, the people, say that it's plausible, it's viable, it'll work. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, it's real simple. We tell our politicians they're going to have to listen to us. If not, we have the right, and we do every 2 to 4 years, to fire them. And if they don't like it, that's up to them. They do what we want. We don't do what they want. Okay? Anyway, just had to type something there in my Spreaker chat, in my Skype chat. So, anyway, yeah, let me, one more thing about this election. One more thing about transforming America. It's real simple, folks. You have the power to change things. You. In the United States of America, you have the power to change things. Somebody once called me a racist. I said, I'm not a racist, I'm a realist. Well, you're prejudiced. No, I'm not. I'm not prejudiced at all. I'm a pragmatist. I don't look at things and say, oh, well, this is the way it's got to be, and we have to bow down and kiss their feet so we can get along to go along to get along. No. Have I said no enough? No. Was it Albert Finney in the movie New York or something like that? Or New York. In Network? Thinking of New York. Keep your mind on them. Send them help if you can. In Network. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. And that's the way we should be, people. But unfortunately, yeah, I'm going to call y'all out. Unfortunately, you ain't got the balls to do it. You ain't got the balls to go down to your city council meeting, to go to these places and rally around the city hall or rally around the governor's mansion and demand something be done. You don't have the balls to do it. You don't. I feel good about who I am. Let me point that out personally. I feel good about who I am. And if I met 5, 6, 8, 10 people, who were patriots like myself, I would sit down and say, okay, how can we do this to make, to demand these changes from our city council? How can we do this? I need some input here. I'm not a leader. If somebody else wants to lead the group, that's fine with me. I'm just asking questions. How do we get this done? Not one of you, I don't think there's anybody in my listening audience that can send me information, including pictures if you have them, of you being at the city council meeting, or you talking to a politician, or you going to the public information officer at your local law enforcement office, whether it be state or state police or county sheriff or city police. I don't know. Can you just walk in there and say, "Hey, I'd like to talk to the public information officer if I could"? Seriously. Here's why. Now, I say that because I got you to listen, didn't I? So let me say this. I said that. I got you all riled up. Let me tell you this, and this is why I say this. Because you need to be motivated. Because you've been complacent for so long, you have no idea. Actually, you fear what you don't understand. And because of that fear, you decided, oh, it's not worth fighting. It's not worth defending. It's not worth doing it. Because all I'm going to do is get ridiculed by my friends or, worse, arrested. And then I'm going to have to get bail money and go for 9 times out of 10, anybody arrested for civil disobedience, because that's what it's called, 9 times out of 10, within 48 hours, all charges are dropped and you're released. Why? Don't know. There are some people that take it a little further than that, and of course, they get tagged with misdemeanors and they got to go to court and all this, that, and the other thing. Don't do that. I don't condone violence. I don't condone beating a cop. I don't condone getting up in their face and yelling at them. That's kind of stupid. That will get those silver bracelets slapped on you and they send you off to the Gray Bar Motel. Don't do that. That's ridiculous. But is it a notch in your holster? Is it a notch on your, as they used to do on the planes, on the Spitfires in World War II, where they'd, draw this little, something on the plane to show how many kills they have? Is it something is that what you want to do? Hey, I went to jail 5 times this year for civil disobedience. Is that going to make you look good? No, it's just going to cost you money. It's just going to cost you money. You're going to be in court most of the time. Okay? I do not condone violence, and anybody coming to me saying we have to go commit a violent act against the police is an agent provocateur, knowing full well, okay, I'm telling you their secret. The federal agent provocateur that comes to your group and says, hey, we need to go blow this building up. No. You kick them out of the group. They're a federal agent trying to arrest you. They did this. The CIA and the FBI infiltrated the Hells Angels, infiltrated white supremacy groups. As a matter of fact, about 50% of the white supremacy groups in the United States are run and funded by the federal government. Now, don't give me this crap that they're not. They are. You want some more? We'll get to it after the break. This is Wayne Pierce, the Reverend Wayne Pierce, for the 2nd of November 2012, right here on The Views Expressed on the Liberty and Freedom Network, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com.
Listen to Angel Clark Monday through Friday.
Well, seems like something went wrong. Well, let me get back to you. Let me get back to you in about 5 minutes. Okay, if you're still listening to my voice. It says that it's on air, but hey, who knows? Something's like whacked out here. I have no clue what it is. It must be Spreaker. As a matter of fact, you know what? If you're still hearing me, email me, libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com, libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com. If you want to email me personally at the show, it's freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Go to the website at freeamericaradio.wix.com, The Views Expressed, or go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook and check things out there because, you're going to get educated, I hope. And for some reason, I can't hear anything playing on my end, okay? I'm just saying, I can't hear anything. So, anywho, I hope you hear my voice. I hope you're still there. Again, email me, Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. We'll see you Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Liberty and Freedom Network, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com. Good night, folks.